talking last week about yards after catch and how you consider that's your identity. Can you just go into that a little bit more? Is that just always a skill of yours that you've had that?
Yeah, starting football playing running back, I think that helped a lot. Obviously, as I got older and understood the game, the most important part was getting the ball in my hands, and that's where the route running coming in, and I knew I had to work on that. So just being the best version of myself and always trying to elevate my game.
You consider yourself a running back once you have
No.
the ball in your hands?
No.
Not going to take it that far?
No, I'm not a running back. But I am a guy that, is very comfortable with the ball in his hands. I look to make guys miss and, obviously score a touchdown, but if not, get as much as I can when I have opportunity.
Do you like
You've
the
been doing-
physicality? You like the physicality of that once you get the ball?
Occasionally. I'm going to be honest with you, occasionally, when I feel like it's necessary. And, at this receiver position, there's not a lot of guys that bring that type of physicality, so, I like to stand out.
You've been doing a lot more X this year than in past years. Can you talk about that and how does it open things up?
I'm a slot boy or something, huh? That's what I
I
heard.
didn't say that.
Not you, but I'm just saying that's the narrative right now. But besides that, man, I'm comfortable anywhere on the field, outside the numbers, inside the numbers, in the backfield, if you will, to run a route. But whatever the team needs, versatility is also another one of my key components of myself, and I take pride in it. And just line me up anywhere, tell me what I got, and if it's one-on-one, I know who I got to beat.
As you continue this run, do you anticipate more double coverage brackets, more anything like that?
If not, I'm okay with that too.
But that's why they move you around, though, to avoid that.
Absolutely,
Correct?
absolutely. Just kind of giving them a different look, seeing what they are, seeing what they're in, being true to their disguise. A lot of teams are doing a great job of playing maze defense, which is man aligned zone ending. Just looking for matchups, exploiting those matchups, and winning on one-on-one.
You've always caught a lot of balls from Dak. You go back to last year and your numbers just jumped when he came back. But what is the difference this year, though?
Nothing necessarily different, just a lot of time that's we worked on, this offseason compared to any other offseason we've had. The full offseason together, a lot of bonding, a lot of time together, and it's showing. The trust in each other when I'm running my route and seeing him and he's seeing me.
I know these are hard to come up with, but can you point to a catch or a sequence this year where you look back and you go, well, this is because we know each other. We may not have connected on this one.
We've had a couple of them. I don't quite remember because in the game I just be locked in.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much all of them, if you will, because I do my best in getting open and just creating rubs or winning my matchup versus leverage. And once again, timing. You can't beat timing. The only thing you can do is try to knock it off.
I joked with you after the first of these 100-yard games that it came right after "Give me the damn ball." But seriously, that San Fran game, your reaction to it, how much was that a catalyst, if at all, for this run that you're on now?
Absolutely, real big. I feel like without that conversation, we wouldn't have got really to where we are now. And I feel like the elevation in the offense is amazing, and grateful for that. Grateful for Mike trusting in me. Grateful for the team trusting in me and my abilities.
Is there anything about that conversation you can share that you thought was important?
Nah, not really. It was a good conversation, though.
CeeDee, over these last 3 weeks, have you felt Dak's confidence within this offense grow?
I feel like it's been there. It was just all on a matter of time. Once again, it's things that we've done in training camp that is now coming into fruition in the season. So it's not necessarily a surprise to us. It's just happy to see this again. And for Dak, it's happy to see him back there composed, confident, playing, running around in the backfield, throwing the ball on the run, whatever the case may be to contribute to us moving the ball downfield.
But to see the results coming, what does that do for trying to take the next step?
We got to be consistent. We be consistent through any game. We can score with anybody. We got to capitalize on all our third downs, of course. I know that's a stretch, but we can do it. And we just gotta outwill the opponent's offense or defense, if you will. We got to beat both of those guys.
Getting back to the conversation you were talking about after the San Francisco game, was it with Dak? Was it with Mike McCarthy? Was it with Schottenheimer? Who was those conversations with?
Everybody.
Coach Schottenheimer raves about your football IQ. He says sitting with you on the sideline, you tell them give them a lot of insight during a game. How much have you always had that or had pride in sort of the football IQ cerebral part of it?
Yeah, I always have. Once again, I love the sport. I owe everything to it. It's done a lot for me in my life and for my family. So, but like I developed that habit in high school where it was a lot of signals, and I'm always looking at the defensive signals, offensive signals, and then defensive signals when I'm on the field. But when I'm on the sideline, I'm looking at the offensive signals. So I'm trying to figure out where the repetitiveness come from. Like, if you do this, like, all right, what are y'all running? Dang, now I'm giving up my drop. They ain't gonna even. But that was in high school, and it developed, throughout college, and then just finding the open holes and the defense, leverage. There's a lot that go within it, but that's just a short answer.
How much do you pay attention to what the other number one elite wide receivers are doing in the league during the season?
A lot. I'm watching them boys. I love the position, all of them. Steph for sure. I like Jamar a lot. Obviously, you got AJ. Pretty much, once again, all the receivers that are ones, to be honest.
Did you go into that game last week at all wanting to put up bigger
No,
numbers than
y'all
AJ?
making that too. I wanted to go out there and win the game and have a great game, but not necessarily to compete against him. I out-competed him, but we lost. So, see, there's that.
Is there a particular part of your route running that you think you've taken the next step in this year?
Top of the route, just getting in and out my breaks, not necessarily taking a false step, and sometimes when needed, winning with my size, because I'm 9 times out of 10 a lot more taller than the next guy that's guarding me.
How did you get better at the top of the route?
Repetitive routes, just continuing to run the same route, not get tired, not get bored, always trying to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So whatever feels uncomfortable 9 times out of 10 is probably right, because you get out of your comfortable, state, then that's where the learning happens.
Do you iron out part of your game like that? Do you do that like in the off season with a private coach, or is that something you do here specifically?
It's a mixture. It's a mixture of both. I do that with I have a position coach that's in Houston right now, but I worked that with him, and then I kind of moved that over to with Dak to see how the timing works. Because if I'm doing too much and Dak's already ready for me, it's not gonna work. I gotta fix it, and then boom, we run it again. And then if I do something else in it, timing always gotta be on point.
So how would you describe your game now versus not just the beginning of the season, but as your game has evolved? How would you describe yourself as a receiver and what that means for this offense?
I wouldn't say it changed. It was just me trusting in my ability, actually going with what I see and attacking. Whatever it is, if it's man-to-man, not really wasting too much time at the line of scrimmage, actually getting into my route and making them guard me. If it's zone, finding an open zone and making them feel like it's something that it's not. So just kind of moving the guys, moving them to where they think they're right, where they could be wrong, and it works in my favor.
The subtleties of the game, then at the receiver position, you feel like you continue to grow in those aspects as well?
Absolutely.
As a quarterback, wide receiver tandem, you and Dak, you guys through 8 games, you're top 3 in the league in most categories. You're number 1 in the league across several categories. But still, with you guys finding your comfort zone, I'm sure you still look for things to improve upon. So between you and Dak, what's the biggest thing that you guys are looking to do to take the next step?
Be consistent. Once again, I can't preach that enough. And just continue to what we build off of. We set a great foundation these past couple of weeks, and we know it's at stake going forward. So just staying true to ourselves, believing in one another, keep continuing to talk through our reps that we miss in practice, and then Sundays, let it show.
Thanks, CeeDee.
Appreciate you.